ni TM hapa. TM karibu sana. TM ametembea kwingi. Naomba uje huku kwa ajili ya kusemezana nawe. TM Jolawi Obondo amekuwa kwa faida Gor Mahia kwa muda. Uwanja huu kwa sasa unafanyiwa ukarabati TM, na ni uwanja ambao una historia ndefu. Unaionaje kwa sasa na hatua inayopigwa kwa sasa?
Yeah, I would just want to appreciate whoever is if the government, this is good work. You know, we have a history with this stadium. Apart from City Stadium, we now call this is our second home. And why I say that is, you remember 5th of December 1987, this is where we lifted the glorious Mandela Cup. And since then, no any other team in Eastern Central Africa has ever taken the cup. So we really, we cherish this kiwanja, and therefore this renovation going on, this is a good thing for football in the country, and it's in the right direction. Yes. It
has taken us a very long period of time to realize this. What could have been the problem for us to embrace this kind of developments?
Sometimes we say better late than never, but it was overdue. We thought something like this should have been done long time ago, because like when we were traveling, going to the seeing other continental matches during our CAF days, you could see the difference between our stadiums and what is there outside there. If you go to, let's say, Arab countries, you go to Alexandria in Egypt, you go to the main stadium in Egypt, you go to Algeria, you go to Morocco, totally different. And South Africa, of course, when we went to play Super Sports of South Africa, you look at the stadium and the difference is so big. So this is something which should have been done a long time ago. However, sometimes you say better late than never. When it comes, whoever is now there, we should appreciate, and therefore it is the right thing at the right time, and we are going to make use of it, I think so.
Now, this is infrastructure. Talking about infrastructure, a stadium, this is the Moi International Sports Center, Kasarani. What about Nyayo Stadium?
Well, even Nyayo Stadium, I think, is to the standard. However, when we were playing like the last derby, Gor versus FC, we realized some mishaps which should be corrected, like I think the perimeters which are now preventing fans from going to the stadium. I think something should be done about it, because it forces that we have to bring a lot of security, and this is not necessary. After all, the playing unit and both teams and the technical bench should be protected. If you expose them that fans can go into the stadium, then that is quite leaking. And I saw that in Nyayo. So I think whatever they're doing here, it should be extended to Nyayo, so that at least we have up to the standard our pitches measuring to the CAF level.
Talk about the fans themselves. Why are they not coming to stadium?
I think they were hit. You know, this thing started when the corona invaded the whole world, and therefore people thought it was the end of everything in terms of association. But from what I'm seeing, I think they have no alternative but to come back to the stadiums, because I appreciate the efforts the FC people have done. You can see their fans, they are back. They are really trying, even if they are losing, they are not doing so well. But right now, you see, they have really motivated their team to the extent that you can now see they have also started doing well. So it is also a challenge to Gor Mahia and other fans, or wherever they are, that they have to come back and participate in what they used to do before. We don't think it is a matter of football as such, but we lost it. The appetite got lost somewhere. But we have no alternative, and only to revive it. I appeal to fans to come back, so that at least we can fill this stadium the way we used to do it before.
Now we've got seats. They're no longer going to sit on slabs like slaves or mabus, in terms of when they come to stadium to cheer their teams.
Yeah, this is also another move in the right direction, because what I'm seeing here is what we see sometimes in other countries. Like we were in Europe, we are proud to say that. And this is what we saw. Yeah, the Sport Pesa took us to Europe. We managed to visit some of the great clubs there. Some of us went to Manchester United, some of us went to Hull City. Me, as being a Liverpool fan, I was there.
You are suffering now
Of course,
in terms of performance.
it is a bad season for us, but we hope we'll pick up. Now, what we saw there is what we should copy. The seats, this is the right thing that we should do for this country. We need some comfort also. So what now may be lacking is we can improve on, so long as our people can start behaving, then we can improve on some hotels inside here, some bars where people can now take some plastic beers or what during halftime. That is the difference I saw. You find, apart from the comfort inside the stadium, then during half times people vanish. They go and join themselves, they take pizzas, they take whatever they can with whoever their families, their girlfriends, that list is long. So that comfort is necessary, and therefore after the comfort, then we need some entertainment also to come in. Yes.
To enable fans to come back to stadium. That is in terms of the solution as to why fans are not coming to stadium, and you've already given the solution as to why, what should be done for them to come back. Now, in terms of the government input.
Well, one, we should, why our fans, sometimes we may say we have a lot of options. The funeral options, you need to attend a funeral at home, so you don't feel like going to attend a football match. But in Europe, the option of going to the stadium is a must, and it is something which is their lifestyle kind of, and it starts from childhood. These are some of the things that we should also start initiating, that it is also necessary to go to the stadium. We just you don't need to play to go to the stadium. You also need to go to the stadium to watch whoever is playing. By the end of it, we should also make sure that it becomes a revenue generating factor. How do we generate revenue buying people going to the stadium? But before we go to that, we have to motivate them. We have to give them morale. We have to motivate the players. We have to do all these things so that whatever one sees in the stadium, he say, no, there's not much difference with what I see when I'm seated at house watching my TV. The difference is so good. After all, this is now somebody I can call by the name. This is the one player I know. It comes from home. So we need to motivate one another. The government should, one thing, motivate the teams first. We make sure that the teams are up to the standard. Right now, as we speak, things are not good with the teams. Apart from the few teams which are company or supported or sponsored, then a few teams which also have the sponsorship, like now Gor and FC. But the other teams, they are suffering. So let us, the government, as an institution, support football by finding something to the teams, so that at least we are competing at certain level. It's so sad a story sometimes. When we were playing Chemeli, we were told, these players you are going to play against have not even taken breakfast. How do you compete with the team at that level? It becomes so difficult. So what I'm appealing to the government is, let them at least find a way of motivating, supporting our teams, so that the competition becomes very stiff. It is now not based on the financial might of a particular team. No, it should just be based on now the skills and the level where you are.
And what are clubs doing in terms of gaining revenue and also trying to entice fans to come back to stadium? Yes, we've talked about the government. Now, what about the clubs?
It's so bad. It's quite challenging. Like in Gor, the other day it was the Lovers' Day, the so-called Valentine. We thought by telling them, ladies, you come free, men would fill the stadium. But it was still a disappointment. Nobody turned up. There were very few, of course, and very few ladies turned up. So it is something which we have to find out where it started raining on us. We have to go deep and find out exactly. Like in Gor, one, we have to talk to the branch chairman the branch members, that please talk to your members, that it is high time they go back to the stadium. We have to talk to them. Then we also have to get new members. We have to recruit them so that at least they see the sense of now going back to the stadium, because it appears other things have surpassed going back to the stadium. And sometimes back I remember during the times of Leslie Okudo as a chairman, Sambu, they used to bring Okach Bigi, the likes of such musicians those days, so that people could be entertained from, let's say, 10 up to the time the match was going to be played, which was then by 4 p.m. It may force us to go back, find out where are the interest of these our people. If the interest is music, then we should get some musicians. Come back, entertain people in the stadium so that at least we can get them back to the stadium. But it is so a deplorable state, it's so pathetic that Gor Mahia, of all the teams we are playing, and you can count the number of people who are back to the stadium. Everybody should be involved, and it should be a concern for everybody, the government, the federation, the clubs, and even fans themselves. Yeah.
And the sponsors, corporates.
Definitely.
Thank you very much, JOLAWI Obondo, TM.
Thank you very much. I don't know, you abused me, but anyway, yes. Let the message go.
Asante. Bila shaka naongea na JOLAWI Obondo. Na kuna Abondo, nakumbuka Tiagas akifanya mambo dhidi ya FC Leopards. Thank you very much, TM. Ametembea kwingi huyu. Wamecheza dhidi ya Hull City hapa, wamecheza dhidi ya Everton. Something small about Everton, you played against Everton, Gor Mahia, some time back, I think twice in Dar es Salaam and also in England.
Yeah, we played against them, and that was as a result of the sponsorship, great sponsorship of SportPesa. We really appreciated that effort, and we hope we'll still go back there. We played against Everton in Dar es Salaam. After we had qualified, we had a last match.
Rooney was there, Rooney.
We had a last match against FC. We took Derby to Dar es Salaam. After winning that, then we played now against Everton. Rooney was there. In fact, the pleasing part of it, they brought their first 11. It was not a road deal at all. Then after that, then we had to play them again when we went to Europe. In Europe, it was not good. We lost 4-0. But in Dar es Salaam, it was a tough match for both teams. We lost 2-1. Yeah.
I remember so well, vividly, at the William Benjamin Mkapa International Stadium in Dar es Salaam. Rooney was amongst the scorers. Na alifunga mchezaji matata kwa maana Boniface Watch at that time. Jackie Tuisenge pia vile vile akifunga. Na ikawa ni 2-1 katika uwanja huo, na tumesemezana JOLAWI Obondo kwa lugha ya Kiingereza kwa ajili ya kunogesha mambo tu. But all in all, it's up to you fans also to make efforts coming back to the stadia. Support your team, support players to ensure that tumekuza michezo na iwe ni kwa faida sisi sote. Kutoka uwanja huu, Michael Were Muhusia aka Bongaboli, Habari 254.